Hi, I'm Jim Andre with the Alien Connection Truth Network, and this is Jim McFarland. We're good friends. We've known each other through the Alien Connection Truth Network group for a couple of years now. And he'd like to reveal a couple of things that's has happened to him since. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, I wanted to tell, when I first met Jim, I thought he was a fruitcake. That was my first impression of him. First time I talked to him on camera on Facebook Messenger, he's talking to me, and he moves the camera, showing me something, and I see all these crosses hanging upside down from the ceiling, and I'm like, or no, not upside down. They was right side up, not upside down. They was hanging from the ceilings, hundreds of them, and I'm like, what the hell kind of nut crack case is this? I thought he was nuts. Yeah, I've come to find out Jim collects crosses. Well, after he knew me a while, we got acquainted, and we both believe the same way about the alien agenda and other religious things we believe the same about. Now, I'll just tell you, we don't agree on politics, but we won't go into that. That's for another show. But anyway, make a long story short, he tells me, he says, I'm making fun of him one night, and he says, you keep messing with me, he said, and I'll fix you up, partner. He said, I'll send my little buddies that abducted me to come pay you a visit. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, it was a few weeks later, I'm laying here in bed, sound asleep, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. I'm paralyzed. I can't move. Sleep paralysis is what it's like. But I've had that when I was young. But nothing like it happened to me this night. This happened to me, and when I first woke up into this state, I thought that's what it was. Oh, we go. I'm going to have one. I hadn't had one since I was 9 or 10 years old. I thought, yeah, here we go, another sleep paralysis. I was so used to it when I was a kid, it didn't scare me. Well, next thing I know, I see something moving. I can't move my eyes, but I see something moving out of the corner of both of my eyes. And when it gets up closer to the sides of my bed, there's one alien gray on each side of the bed, and then there's one standing at the foot of the bed, and they're talking gibberish. I can't understand them. I mean, they're not even, their lips are not moving. They're just, you can hear it. It's like telepathy. And it scared the shit out of me. So I closed my eyes and I start praying to God. Well, I waited for the longest time to open my eyes. They was all gone, and then I got my movement back. Well, I get up the very next morning, and I called Jim to tell him about this crazy dream I'd had. I thought you had to be dreaming, or this paralysis session I had. I called Jim to tell him about it. When he answers the phone, I said, man, you ain't going to believe what happened to me last night. And you said, no, don't try me. And he said, let me tell you what went on last night. And he looks me dead in the eye, and he said, my 3 little buddies paid you a visit early this morning, didn't they? I about fell out of the damn chair. And I've been paid a visit twice since. One time they showed up. I don't know what they wanted. There was 2 of them that time. I don't know what they wanted. Well, the last time, it was just one. No, it was all 3 of them. It was just, but there was one in particular. If you go look at my profile picture on my Facebook page, I'm a member of the Connection group under my name. Let's go look my profile picture. The way the alien's standing there with his hand out, exactly what this reminded me of. I look up. I'm laying and I wake up in this sleep paralysis mode, and I see 2 standing at the foot of my bed, and I thought, oh, here we go again. And about that time, my bed's kind of catty corner to the right of the door's catty corner right straight in front of my bed. The door's open into the hallway, the dark hallway. And I look over, because I had the TV on, I look over, glanced over out of the corner of my eye because I couldn't move my eyes. And here's this one coming through the doorway in a fast movement with his hand out, reaching for me. And he started getting close enough to touch me. I just closed my eyes and freaked out. I thought my heart was going to stop. And the second he laid his hand on me, it was like God Almighty laid his hand on me. It was the most peaceful. I could have died right there, and I'd have been at peace. I wouldn't have regretted nothing. So Anybody that don't believe this stuff, well, you better take a second look.
Yeah, well, like I told you, Jim, that last time that they paid you a visit and they touched your chest like that, that was to help you with a health problem.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Whether you were aware of it or not, you know.
Yeah. Also, and at that time, Jim remembers I had something going on my lung, coughing my head off, lung giving me problems. And after they come and he put his hands on me, within a couple of days, I was over it, wasn't a Jim.
Yep. Well, one you got to tell them about is when you were driving truck, you were talking to me that night. It was around 11
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm driving a truck. I'm up Chicago. Well, not Chicago, coming out of Wisconsin into Rockford, Illinois. Just crossed into Rockford, and I'm on the south side of Rockford, coming down highway, I think it's 35 or 39 or whatever that is anyway. I'm back down to I-55. Anyway, I'm coming down the interstate there. And I just got off the phone with Jim and another friend of ours, Larry. And I said, well, I'm going to get off here. I got to make some time. I'll talk to you all later. Well, I got off. As soon as I got off with them, I called my wife. Talked to her for a couple minutes, and then I told her, well, I'm gonna try to get on down by St. Louis before I go to bed. So we got off the phone. I hadn't been off the phone with her, but it's just a couple minutes, and all of a sudden, this bright flash of light, boom, and I'm on the four lane divided interstate, and this bright flash of light, like the flashy thing in the Men in Black movie that Will Smith and old Harrison Ford, ain't Harrison Ford, what's his name?
Oh, shit.
Anyway, black and white, they use that damn flashy thing to erase your memory. It's kind of bright light it was. It flashed, just an explosion of bright, blinding white light. Couldn't see nothing. And I gripped the steering wheel because I thought I was going to run off the road. I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know if we'd been blasted by a nuclear bomb or a meteor or what the hell was going on. That was one of my first thoughts, something drastic had happened. And all of a sudden, the light started fading out and my eyesight come back. And I'm on a little 2-lane narrow road in the middle of nowhere, cornfields everywhere. And I come up to this up to this intersection, and a little small town. There's a red light there, one red light. And this town probably had maybe 1,000 people in it, little one-horse town. And on the corner to my left was a gas station. And I come up and there's this red light in front of me, and I lock the brakes down, still not realizing where I'm at. I've never been there before. And I stopped, and I thought, what the hell am I doing? And this road I'm on, it had signs on it, no trucks. Well, I look over and I see this little local delivery truck over there at this damn gas station. So I pull over there. He's getting fuel. So I wiggle around in there and get my truck in there. I never got my truck in there. And I walk in there, get out, and I walk over to him. And I asked this black guy, I said, where am I at? I said, you tell me where I'm at and how the hell to get back to the interstate? Which interstate? And I told him. He said, what the hell how in the hell did you get all the way over here? My question is, you've been on that no truck road for 40 miles. There's no tractor trailer supposed to be on this road, full-size tractor trailers. There's a weight limit on that road. And I said, I don't know how I got here. I said, I didn't want to tell him what had happened. Like he think I was nuts. I said, I don't know. I just got lost. I said, but give me the best way back. Well, he told me which way to go. Well, I go back, turn the truck around, go back the way I came. I go through 2 small towns and make 2 complete 90-degree turns right down around courthouse squares in these 2 small towns. They had a courthouse square in the middle of town. I go around these 2. It takes me an hour and a half to get back to the interstate. And only thing I can figure is because when I got home, me and Jim was talking about it. I called my wife back, and I went to tell her what happened. I said, you know what, you got off the phone maybe less than 10 minutes ago. I said, and I told her what happened. She said, 10 minutes ago? She said, it's been 3.5 hours since I got off the phone with you. And I knew right now there wasn't that much time elapsed. That happened too quick. I can't account for the loss of time. But I will tell you this. I get home the next day. I called Jim back and tell him what happened. He said, well, whoa, that's weird. He said, they might have been trying to save you. They was transporting you out of harm's way or something, and I just whatever. When I get home, I'm thinking about what Jim said. When I get on Google, I find out about where I'd have been about the time that happened to me. They had a bad car accident just ahead of me, less than a half a mile away. A tractor trailer and two cars, and it killed everybody in the cars. And the damn tractor trailer driver, he's in the hospital. Don't expect him to live. And
Amazing.
I told Jim about it. Happened about the same time I'd have been there that night when I got to that point. Well, they stopped something.
Yeah, that happened. And when something like that happens, it's for a reason. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I know I'm not the first case that's happened to, because I've heard of other cases, documented cases.
And of course, when you talk about something like that, most think you're off the wall or something. But
oh yeah, they think you own drugs, or your elevator don't go to the top floor.
your porch light's on, but nobody's home.
That's right. Well, I got news for all of them. They can think what they want to, because I don't care whether they believe me or not. I know what I experienced. I've experienced many things in my life, but I had something tragic happen to me when I was young, and I think it changed me. I think it done something to me and opened up abilities that I wouldn't have normally had. And I think that was when I got electrocuted, Jim. Was I got hit with 300,000 volts, stopped my heart. My heart was stopped over 5 minutes, and nobody did CPR, nothing on me. And I got up off the ground and went for help. It killed my wife and unborn baby.
Yeah, that was a.
And ever since then,
definitely a tragedy. You're lucky to be here.
After that happened to me, then other things start happening to me in my life that never happened before. Strange events. I also got my third eye about opened. I've been seeing apparitions, stuff like that, and when I look at them, they disappear right in front of me.
Yeah, another thing I'd like to touch upon while we're doing this video here is some of the healing sessions that you've experienced with me and others that you know.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, I can tell them it's amazing. I'm not the only one. Jim has helped many people, and he don't charge a penny for his services. But he can do a long distance session with you over his or over the phone. He don't have to be in the same room with you. You can be on the other side of the world, because I live in Arkansas and he lives in Central Florida, and he's helped me many times when I had health issues, and he get his shungite sewn out and do a shungite session with me, and he brought me out of whatever was bothering me, or he helped me in some way. It was always a positive experience. He's helped my wife. He's helping friends of mine. And I got, for one, I'll tell you one experience. I got a friend. She's 86 years old. Mrs. Pepper Ritter. She's a widow. She lives by herself. Lives in Alabama. She's doing great. The old woman, amazing how good she gets around for her age. She stays by herself, lives by herself, does everything for herself. Well, she's got bad circulation in her legs. Well, she was having these sores on her legs, big open sores, ulcers that wouldn't heal. Well, she'd been going to the wound clinic for almost 8 years, and they couldn't get them to completely heal up. All they did, she'd go twice a week, and things was draining and all that crap. And they'd keep her legs wrapped, and she'd go get them rewrapped twice a week, and they'd put garbage on them, crap medicine. It wasn't working. Well, I met Pepper, and I told her about it. Well, first I turned her on to Manuka honey, and that helped, but it didn't completely clear them up. Well, I thought, I need to get her and Jim together. Well, one night I introduced Jim to her, and we was telling her about it. That's what I love about Pepper. I love that old woman to death, like my own grandma. But, old Pepper, you can't help but loving her, can you, Jim?
Oh yeah,
she's the sweetest thing. But anyway, old Pepper, and she's open-minded. I mean, she's not like a lot of older folks like that set in her ways, and she got the, she knows it all. She's smarter than everybody because she's older. That ain't Pepper. You tell Pepper something, and she looks for the good in everybody. And if you tell her something, she may be skeptic, but she's not gonna tell you you're crazy and all that. And if you wanna prove something to her, she's open to anything, just like that. And I asked her if she'd be open. We told her about these sessions, and I asked her if she'd be open to it, and she said, "I'd be willing to try anything. I'm tired of this." Well, we set up a session. Jim did a 30-minute session with her. That evening, she goes to bed, and she showed us pictures. She showed us videos. The camera showed us videos of her legs before we started this. Me and Jim did the Shungat session with her. The very next day, she calls us up when she gets out of bed, just as happy as a lark, and she showed us her legs. Those wounds on her legs had completely closed up and healed over. I mean, you could see where they was at, but they was completely closed up, no scab. The skin was already growing back over. But you could see where they was at. They hadn't completely unscarred yet. Now you can look at them and there's no scars at all there, and she ain't been bothered with them again.
Yeah,
and that been what, a year ago, Jim?
Yeah, and that was only that one session. We were successful that one session, that first session.
Yeah.
And how about Betty Bridges there? Remember Betty? She had a stroke.
Yeah.
And she couldn't walk.
She couldn't walk. Jim did one hour-long session with her one night and worked his butt off on her. The next day she called back and she was happy as a lark. She got out of bed next morning. She said she could walk as good. She said, "I can't walk like I did when I was young, but she said I can get around now." Well, she was happy as a lark, and she told Jim, she said, "All my pain's gone."
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible one there. Yeah, she couldn't believe it. Betty Bridges is nice. Betty's a nice lady as well.
Yeah, Jim, one of these days you need to do a big video to post for people on the group. We need to do one, me and you, Becky, and we'll get me, you, Becky, Christy. Let's see, Pepper.
Yeah, Betty.
And we'll bring 3 or 4 of our Betty. We'll bring 3 or 4 of our go-to people that helps you a lot and helps all of us.
Yeah.
Like Gene, Misty, get us all on there. And Larry, get us all on there at one time. We can tell what you've done for us, and we can kind of give Pepper and give her a chance to tell her story. You know what went on with her.
Yeah, we can do that,
but she might do it for you.
She
might do it for you because she told me, she said, "I feel obligated to Jim because old Jim, he was a lifesaver." So she might do one for you. She very seldom does any interviews, but anyway, try to get Pepper on there. But we'll have, like I said, Misty. Misty's an excellent psychic, ain't she?
Oh yeah,
Jim?
yeah, she's.
I mean, excellent.
She's
and Jeannie is good. That's right, and Jeannie's a good one too. Jeannie's an Indian shaman, and I'll tell you what, I know for a fact that ain't no bullshit. She did that 3-hour healing session on me over video chat, and while she was doing her thing there, and I was sitting there meditating with my eyes closed, I started hearing Indian drums chanting off in the distance. Jeannie's a Native American. I started hearing the Indian drums beating off in the distance, and like it was way off somewhere. And I told her, I said, "Do you hear that?" And she said, she stopped. She said, "Hear what?" And I said, "Them drums." I said, "Are you playing some kind of music real low?" And she said, her mouth flew up, and she said, "You can hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, I can hear it." She said, "I can." She said, "I hear that every time I do these sessions." She said, "That's part of my, my Indian ancestors working with me." And she said, she said, "You told me you was part Native American, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well," she said, "if you wanted to," she said, you could get into the things I do." She said, "because you've got the gift, or you wouldn't be able to hear all that." She said, "It sounds like a powwow here to me."
That's some pretty amazing stuff.
But you could, Jim, you could hear that off in the distance. Boom, 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 boom. And you could hear people, whoa, 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 whoa. You could hear people chanting and all that shit. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, kind of freaked me out at first, because that was when I was pretty skeptical of psychics, because of that bad experience I had with that satanic woman that time. And when she told me she was a mind reader and all that, and she was satanic and scared the shit out of me. You know the story. I'm not going to go into that, because they will think we're crazy. I'll just keep that to myself.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to believe that one. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people believe it, but you get a lot of backlash over that one.
Well, you're always going to have
I don't care.
naysayers. You're always going to have naysayers
Yeah.
no matter what. But yeah, that's
I'll
a good
put it like
idea.
this.
It's a good idea that we do
I'll
some
put it like this.
testimonials.
Yeah. I'll tell you like this, that devil worshiping bitch that did that to me, I just soon not even talk about it. I mean, I know I brought it up, but I mean, to go into detail and tell about it, I'd soon not to even have to do that, because she still got the fear of Satan in my ass, and that's been 30 years ago she did that to me. But homie ain't playing that game. I'm not going there.
Yeah, you're better off to let it be.
You know, Jim, that's like me, Jim. You know, we was watching that, and Becky and us watching that about that Bell Witch in Tennessee tonight, and then people was out there, that place where that witch entity's supposed to be out there harming people. They was down in a hand dug well in that farm. That farm ain't nobody lived there since the 1880s on that hand dug farm. Anyway, they down on that hand dug that hand dug well, and that dude rappels down in there, and it's about 40 feet to the bottom of it, and he's down in there, and he finds these hairs look like Indian's hair, water Indian hair stuck in the wall, and there's claw marks on the walls of that dried up well, that deep down in there.
Oh.
Well, the girl that was at the top, waiting on him, going to pull him back up when he come out, something started moving out there in the corn around them where they was at. She was freaking out, and she said, "Hurry up, get out, there's something out here." Well, he comes up, he takes that hair with him. When they leave, they analyzed that hair, Jim, and it come back, it was human hair.
Yeah.
Down in the bottom of that well.
Yeah.
But I told Becky when that was going on, I said,
there's probably some
that old boy shit.
There's probably some skeletons down there.
Yep. I told Becky, I said, that old gal sitting at the top, when she told him to hurry up, she's going to pull him up because there's something up her. She's scared. I thought about that time, if you'd have heard a thumping noise and she shut up and the light go out up there, and all of a sudden the rope's cut and it drops down in that 40-foot hole, and you're stuck in the middle of that place in the middle of the night, that'd be creepy, wouldn't it?
There's probably a lot of skeletons down the bottom of the well there.
Probably. Well, it's like that there. They went in that damn cave, Jim, and they was skeletons everywhere, bones, and some of them even looked like human bones. And then they was candles in there, or somebody been in there and they piled them bones up in satanic, evil looking.
Yeah, what do they do? Make them into powder?
They took them bones and stacked them up and piled them up and moved them around, set them up in ways to where they look satanic, like a satanic
diagram.
What do they call it?
Yeah.
A shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah, shrine. They was all over that. They was bones in there that is waist deep in that place, Jim. And they was hearing weird noises in there. And they rappelled down this cave. It was like 50 foot to the bottom of this big giant cave, and opened up into a cavern down in there. And they found a canine track in there that was bigger than both of a man's hand. It was a canine track. Well, people claiming they'd been seeing a dog, a big giant dog-like figure with red eyes, what they call a hellhound, running around there.
Yeah.
And they're down in that cave, rappelled down in there. I thought, well, you couldn't get out of there fast enough. Somebody had to pull you out of that rappel you, pull you back up, and you rappelled down in there. He'd have you tore all to hell before you get out of there.
Yeah, well, them bones there are probably from sacrificing.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't want to make this video too long, so I guess we'll cut it off here. But,
All right.
I want to let everybody know we'll be back on again, and we'll have some other people with us. It'll be a while yet because I got to get everybody together so they can, we can do some testimonials. Well, thanks, Jim.
Anytime you want. No problem. Anytime you want me, just holler at me. If I ain't sick or dead, I'll be here.
All right. All right. Peace, brother.
You know I'm one of your top disciples. I'm your ally.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right.
Bye-bye.